Hey MVPs, and welcome back to another video. Now, if you are like me, nothing boosts both your inner confidence as well as your outer confidence more than achievements and the feeling of progress in your life. And no matter if it's fitness, career or dating. But let's be honest, the downside is that you have to be somewhat productive to achieve that. Even though I might appear motivated on the outside, I honestly consider myself to be kind of a lazy person. I basically do what needs to be done, and if I'm not super passionate about it, I wouldn't give 100%. But with some mental tricks, I managed to stay really productive and to achieve what I want to do, while it doesn't feel like a lot of work. Let's talk about the example of going to the gym first. Basically everyone wants to do it consistently, and still I only see a few people do it on a regular basis. And yes, I'm looking at you, resolutioners. Easily the most important reason I still go to the gym is because it became a habit. About a year ago I had to decide whether or not to go to the gym, and now the only question is when today. And rain or an imaginary headache or a cat with diabetes are no longer excuses for me to skip it. And I only realized how strong this habit was when I didn't go to the gym for 2 weeks straight because I was ill. Suddenly starting again felt like so much more effort. And don't get me wrong guys, I really love working out, but you know, there are leg days. And I will use the same example of going to the gym to explain why it is important to use peer pressure to your advantage. About 2 years ago, the only person in my closest social circle that worked out was Bernd. You remember, the guy that was born ripped and ready, as I mentioned it in my video on how to stop comparing yourself. And in case you haven't seen it, go check it out, but of course, finish this video first. Simply seeing his results motivated me a lot to do the same thing. And about half a year later, my twin brother joined in as well, because he didn't want to be the younger and smaller brother. So we had a little bit of a competition going on between us, in a positive way of course, and we soon made progress. And guess what? Another really amazing and super cute friend of mine, who is single by the way for the girls watching, joined in, and even though he still thinks that he's too fat, sitting at around 8 to 10% body fat, he made ridiculous progress. And I could really tell that we passively pressured him to work out too. And to be honest, I experienced the same thing when I was living abroad with other students who were not into fitness. Because as soon as Bilal, a really cool French guy, got into our house, and the other housemates saw us eating healthy and making progress, they would eventually start doing some sort of fitness themselves, without us trying to convince them in any way. And I know guys, that was a lot fitness related, but you can apply the same principles if you want to be more productive with your business or even dating. Let's say you make answering all the emails a habit in the morning to the point you don't even have to think about it. And you can also meet like-minded people that push you and ask you how your business is going and what your next steps are. Because this pressure from outside is also what helped me to grow my channel. And the next point is to start small. And this is really important. You can't just go all in. Well, you could, but look at the resolutioners. And I know you're not one of them, but still. Personally, I changed my diet from white bread with Nutella in the morning to oatmeal over the course of a year. In the beginning, I couldn't even eat cereals because I found it disgusting. But now my diet is pretty much the opposite of what it was before. Therefore, make sure to take a small step every single day. And even though I'm not a big fan of motivational quotes on romantic scenery, I will always remember this little formula here. Because progressing just this tiny bit has a huge effect in a year. I started with bodyweight exercises, then I bought dumbbells to train at home. I did more and more every month and increased my knowledge about nutrition and training, and now I go to the gym. It is safe to say that I would have never been able to go to the gym and stick to my current diet if I changed it from one day to another. Another example is my YouTube channel. I started with no knowledge, zero, and I experimented with audio programs, animation and thumbnails, etc. And about a month ago there was nothing there, and now I already have a couple of videos and quite a lot of subscribers. It still amazes me how fast we can progress once we finally overcome our mental barriers and just do it. And to use the example of this YouTube channel again, there is no way I could create a whole video with audio recordings, animation and script in a single day. But I would give myself the deadline of a week per video. And of course I could try to do everything last minute at the end of that week, but instead I set small goals every single day. Let's say writing the script the first day, then rewriting it the second day, recording the audio on the third and so on. It really is not a lot of work each day, so I'm basically like, okay, let's get it over with, and once I start I have a lot of fun and end up doing more than I planned anyway. If I didn't set any deadlines, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't produce a single video in a month. I also used the same principle for my studies. Plus, I was never the person that did everything in the last minute anyway. Instead, I would literally study 15 minutes or so each day for an exam that was in about 2 months' time. And I usually do quite well, and all in all, it doesn't feel like a lot of effort. Now, obviously that doesn't always work and depends partly on who you are as a person, but setting those small goals each day helps most people to stay motivated and makes them feel good after accomplishing them. That's it from me again. I hope you enjoyed it and you can use these strategies yourself. And if there's anything to add, let me know down in the comments below, and also feel free to tell me if you want to see a certain topic discussed in a video. Have fun guys, and see you next week.